And I'm Kaliba,
And this is your
behavior tip of the week.
This week's topic is functional communication training, or FCT. What is FCT, or functional communication training? Okay, so the goal is to replace a problem behavior with a more appropriate form of communication that helps the student meet the same need. This can include verbal communication, so talking, sign language, using pictures, or speech generating devices such as an iPad or even low tech devices like a communication board. It is frequently used alongside with other behavior interventions.
Most behavior is communication. We must give the child a new way to communicate before trying to change the behavior. If not, we leave the child with no way to communicate. Oftentimes, they will find a new way on their own, and it may not be better.
So up top, there is a picture that says all behavior is communication. A friend of ours from the communication department reminded me that no, not all behaviors is communication. So we said most behavior is communication. So, what are the steps for functional communication training? So, there are 6 steps that's listed here. The first one is you're going to do an assessment to find out the function of the behavior. Why is the behavior occurring? Is it for attention? Is it for tangible? Are they trying to escape? Then you determine an alternate form of communication. You're going to teach this new communication skill. You're going to reinforce the child when they use the new skill. And then you're going to remind the child to use a new form of communication and ignore the problem behavior. So, for instance, if you have a child who's calling out, you're going to teach them instead of calling out, you're going to raise your hand to gain attention. You're going to teach them by modeling how they're supposed to raise their hand. And every time they raise their hand, you're going to reinforce them raising their hand, and you're going to ignore the calling out behavior.
When choosing a replacement behavior, the new behavior should gain the child the same reinforcement just as quickly, if not quicker, than the old behavior. All requests using the new behavior should be honored. The old behavior should no longer be reinforced and be persistent. It may take time.
Yes, it will. And again, for that student who is calling out, the same way we go over it quickly, say stop calling out. When we teach them how to raise their hand, we're going to reinforce them for raising their hand and ignore the call. Here's a video link of a functional communication training. So click on the link to see more in the video. For the sake of time, we're not going to play it. And here it says DRA, which is differential reinforcement of other behaviors. So again, instead of calling out, we're going to teach them to raise their hand. Or if they want a break, instead of just getting up and leaving, we're going to teach them how to ask for a break or ask for help. DRI, which is differential reinforcement of incompatible behaviors. So that's just behaviors that you can't do at the same time. For instance, hands in your pockets. So you can't have your hands in your pocket and hit the child next to you at the same time. That's a kid hitting the kid next to them. So basically, you can't have your hand in your pocket and engage in physical aggression at the same time. So you teach hand in your pocket to help the student with not hitting the person next to them. Or if your feet is on the floor, it can't be on the desk. So you teach incompatible behaviors, or you teach alternative behaviors. This slide talks about related communication alternatives to problem behaviors. So when we did that functional assessment and we figured out the function of their behaviors, and on here on the right side, you'll see the different functions of behaviors. So based on that, you'll teach them an appropriate communication alternative. So if they're trying to get attention or a tangible, you teach the child how to ask for help by saying, I need help. If they're trying to escape a situation, you teach them to say, okay, this is boring, instead of just leaving. So it lists like several different communication alternatives that the child could do instead of the problem behavior. And then other tips, go to e-learning and register for behavior bites and understanding and utilizing reinforcements for 20 ESE points. Please continue watching or
Behavior tip of the week.
Thank you.